Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel. Don't forget to like and subscribe because things are about to get fascinating. Ever wonder why you can remember that one awkward encounter from high school like it was yesterday, but that amazing compliment you got last week seems to have vanished into thin air? Get ready to unlock those mysteries and more, because today we're talking about 20 fascinating facts about why that negative stuff seems to stick to us like glue and what we can do about it. The human brain is a complex and incredible organ, responsible for everything from our thoughts and emotions to our memories and actions. It's constantly processing information, making connections, and storing experiences. But did you know that our brains are wired to pay more attention to negative experiences? This is known as the negativity bias, a survival mechanism that helped our ancestors stay alert to dangers. Imagine early humans needing to remember the location of a predator more than the location of a beautiful flower. This bias ensured they stayed safe and survived. In today's world, this means we often dwell on our mistakes and negative interactions, while positive moments can slip away unnoticed. But don't worry, we'll also explore ways to counteract this bias and focus more on the good stuff. So stick around, because understanding the weirdly wonderful world of your brain can help you lead a happier, more balanced life. Let's dive in. Let's kick things off with a big one. Negativity bias. Our brains are hardwired to pay more attention to negative experiences than positive ones. Scientists think this goes back to our caveman days when remembering the scary, dangerous stuff was crucial for survival. Ever notice how after a long day of adulting, making decisions, even little ones, feels like climbing Mount Everest? That's decision fatigue. Our brains have a limited amount of decision-making power each day. By the time you have to choose between ordering takeout or cooking, your decision-making battery is basically at 1%. Decision fatigue refers to the declining quality of decisions made by an individual after a long period of decision-making. As people make more decisions, their cognitive resources become depleted, leading to reduced mental capacity for subsequent decisions. This can result in making impulsive, poor, or avoidant choices due to the mental exhaustion associated with continuous decision-making. It underscores the importance of managing decision load to maintain effective decision-making throughout the day. Ever notice how when someone yawns, you suddenly feel the urge to do the same? This is because yawning is a form of social bonding and empathy, triggered by our mirror neurons. Studies have shown that contagious yawning is more common among close friends and family, indicating a deeper level of empathy and connection. Researchers believe that this phenomenon helps synchronize group behavior and strengthen social bonds. Or how you can't help but smile when you see a picture of a puppy. This happens because our mirror neurons respond to the positive emotions we perceive, making us feel happy too. You can thank your awesome mirror neurons for that. They fire up when we observe someone else's actions or emotions, basically making us mimic them subconsciously. This helps us connect and empathize with others. Interestingly, a study from the University of Pisa found that people with higher empathy levels are more susceptible to contagious yawning. This suggests that our ability to understand and share the feelings of others is closely linked to this quirky behavior. So next time you find yourself yawning after someone else, remember, it's not just about being tired. It's a sign of your brain's incredible ability to connect with others. I think I messed up. The pratfall effect suggests that making a small mistake like tripping over your words or spilling your coffee can actually make people like you more. When someone who seems perfect makes a mistake, it humanizes them. It makes them more relatable and approachable. Psychologically, this happens because we tend to feel more comfortable around people who show vulnerability. For example, if a speaker fumbles during a presentation but laughs it off, the audience might find them more endearing. Studies have shown that these small imperfections can foster a sense of connection and empathy. So next time you mess up, remember, it might just make you more likable. Let's talk about that feeling you get when you know you should be eating a salad, but find yourself elbow deep in a bag of chips instead. That's cognitive dissonance. It happens when we hold two conflicting beliefs, like, I should be eating healthy and I want these chips right now. This mental conflict can lead to stress and discomfort, pushing us to either change our behavior or justify our actions to reduce the dissonance. Cognitive dissonance is a psychological phenomenon that occurs when a person holds two or more contradictory beliefs, values, or attitudes simultaneously, leading to discomfort and mental stress. This discomfort motivates individuals to reduce the dissonance, often by altering their beliefs or behaviors, rationalizing their decisions, or seeking new information that aligns with their existing beliefs. For example, if someone values health but smokes, the conflict between their behavior, smoking, and their belief, valuing health, creates cognitive dissonance. To reduce this discomfort, they might quit smoking, downplay the health risks, or convince themselves that the benefits outweigh the risks. Understanding cognitive dissonance is important because it explains many aspects of human behavior, including decision-making, attitude change, and the persistence of certain beliefs. It highlights the lengths people will go to maintain internal consistency and the impact of psychological stress on our thoughts and actions. This concept is crucial in fields like psychology, marketing, and social influence, as it helps explain why people resist changing their minds, even in the face of contradictory evidence. Ever notice how people tend to gravitate towards information that confirms what they already believe? That's confirmation bias in action. It explains everything from why people get stuck in heated political debates, to why you can't seem to convince your friend that their favorite band isn't actually that great. Remember that time you met someone who seemed amazing on the first date? And then they turned out to be, well, not so amazing. That's the halo effect. When we form a positive first impression of someone, our brains tend to overlook or downplay their flaws later on. The halo effect is a cognitive bias where our overall impression of a person, company, brand, or product positively influences our judgments about their specific traits or characteristics. Essentially, if we perceive something positively in one area, we are likely to perceive it positively in other areas as well, even without sufficient evidence. For example, if a person is physically attractive, we might also assume they are kind, intelligent, and competent, even if we have no information to support these assumptions. This bias can affect various domains, such as hiring decisions, performance appraisals, and consumer behavior. Understanding the halo effect is important because it highlights how our perceptions can be influenced by initial impressions, leading to biased judgments. Recognizing this bias can help individuals and organizations make more objective decisions by focusing on specific attributes rather than being swayed by overall impressions. The bystander effect is the phenomenon where people are less likely to help someone in need when others are present. It all comes down to something called diffusion of responsibility. When we're in a crowd, we assume someone else will step up so we don't have to. But everyone else is thinking the same thing. Diffusion of responsibility is a psychological phenomenon where individuals are less likely to take action or feel a sense of responsibility when they are part of a group. This occurs because each person assumes that someone else will step in or take charge, leading to a decrease in the likelihood that any one individual will intervene in a situation. This concept is often discussed in the context of emergencies, such as when someone needs help in a public place. For example, if many people witness an accident, each bystander may assume that someone else will call for help or provide assistance, resulting in no one taking action. This is known as the bystander effect. Diffusion of responsibility can also occur in organizational settings, where team members may neglect tasks, believing others will handle them. Understanding this phenomenon is crucial for developing strategies to ensure accountability and encourage proactive behavior. It highlights the importance of clear roles and responsibilities in group settings to counteract the tendency for individuals to disengage when others are present. We've all met someone who's completely oblivious to their own incompetence. That, my friends, is the Dunning-Kruger effect. It's the tendency for unskilled individuals to overestimate their own abilities, while highly skilled individuals often underestimate themselves. Ever notice how just the thought of taking medicine can sometimes make you feel better, even if you haven't actually swallowed a single pill yet? That's the placebo effect at work. Ever wonder why stores have those crazy sales where they mark something down from $500 to $100? They're using a clever psychological trick called the anchoring effect. Our brains latch on to the first piece of information we receive. The anchor, even if it's totally irrelevant. You know that thing where you learn a new word and then suddenly start hearing it everywhere? That's the Bader-Meinhof phenomenon, and it's a prime example of how our brains can play tricks on us. Ever get to the end of a really good book or TV show and find yourself desperately needing to know what happens next? Blame it on the Zeigarnik effect. We tend to remember incomplete tasks or interrupted experiences more vividly than completed ones because our brains are wired to seek closure. Let's be honest, we all have that drawer full of stuff we never use but can't seem to part with. The endowment effect is to blame. It's the irrational tendency to place a higher value on things simply because we own them. You'd think that having more choices would make us happier, right? But in reality, too many options can actually lead to decision paralysis, anxiety, and ultimately, less satisfaction with our choices. Think about the last time you went to a buffet. Did you feel overwhelmed by all the options? Ever have one of those days where you feel like everyone's staring at you, judging your every move? That's the spotlight effect. It's the tendency to overestimate how much other people notice our appearance or behavior. Ever notice how you're more likely to remember the weirdest, most out there things you see or hear? That's the von Restorff effect, also known as the isolation effect at work. Ever notice how you're more likely to try a new restaurant if it has a line out the door, or buy a product that has thousands of 5-star reviews? That's the power of social proof. We humans are social creatures, and we often look to others for cues on how to behave, what to believe, and what to buy. Ever been playing a game of chance and felt like you were for a win, even though you'd been losing for hours? That's the gambler's fallacy tricking you. The truth is, the odds of winning or losing don't change based on previous events. Ever find yourself sticking with something? A job you hate, a project that's going nowhere, a relationship that's clearly run its course, simply because you've already invested so much time, energy, or money into it? That's the sunk cost fallacy whispering in your ear. Well, there you have it, folks. 20 quirky, fascinating, and sometimes downright strange facts about human behavior. Understanding how our brains work, even the weird, illogical parts, is the first step to making better decisions and building stronger relationships. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to like and subscribe and check back for more interesting facts.